What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Donovan Carter, and I am chopping up with my boy Buck.
So much I can't even barely count it. I feel like I'm Giannis ballin' with these bucks. Who they talking now? I don't really give a fuck. Shawty thick, but she got a tummy tuck. Two girls and they
Got my man. You see that UCLA back there? I love that sissy blue uniform putting her head over. Yeah. Donovan Carter, man. How you doing? Good to finally get you on, brother.
Oh man, bless Charles, man. Appreciate the invite, man. Thank you for the opportunity, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, man.
Take me back to, you grew up in DC. How did you
Yes.
end up out in LA going? I know you went to Chaminade High School, but how did all that happen to get out to the West Coast and end up at UCLA?
Yeah, yes, sir, man. So yeah, my parents, my mother actually lived in LA in the 80s, all the 80s. So that's where she met my dad.
Okay.
They was doing their thing, having fun. And fortunately it didn't work out for them. So my
Okay.
mom, she went back, she moved. My mom's born and raised in Maryland. So
Okay.
my mom moved back to Maryland where she's from. That's where all my mom's side of the family from like my grandparents to my great grandparents. I got a lot of aunties, uncles, cousins out there. So when she was pregnant with me, she just wanted to go back, be around family. And I happened to be born in Washington D.C. at the time. I mean, I actually moved to Atlanta when I was 2. So me and my mom moved to
Okay.
the A. We moved to the A. I lived in Smyrna, Georgia. She lived out there.
Okay.
She lived out there like she lived out there in the 90s to the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
crazy. My mom was there when I was in college in Latonia. So yeah, I'm
okay.
familiar with that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then my dad came and got me when I was 8, and when I was in the 3rd grade, and then I stayed in Los Angeles ever since. I did elementary school, junior high, high school, and then did UCLA, and then did college at UCLA, man. And yeah, I just love California. But my mom, she eventually moved back to Maryland when I got to like middle school. So I mean,
Okay.
I've always gone out there for summer breaks or winter breaks or spring break. So DMV, that's like my second home. And
Yeah.
I actually came out here 2nd grade to live with my dad just to see if I liked LA and try it out. And it was
Yeah.
cool, but I was still kind of, I wanted to be around my mom. I was a mama's boy growing up.
Okay.
I went back with my mom for 3rd grade, and then 2nd semester, my dad just came and got me, man. And then yeah, I just stayed with him ever since. And I don't know, I just always loved California, the weather,
Yeah.
just the vibes. I didn't know about the entertainment industry or nothing like that, but I just knew I just knew it was better opportunities in LA, even at a young age.
So you wanted to be an NFL player, but you also
Yes.
kind of did some acting when you were
I
young.
was 10, I think like 5th grade. And yeah,
Okay.
my dad got remarried. My dad got married when I was like 1 years old. So his first wife, she was a musician, and she was also, she was an artist in the arts. So she had a friend that was in her band, and she did plays and she did acting. So they needed like some kids for this play. So she asked my mom if I wanted to do it. And at the time, I always was like interested in film and television. I didn't know about theater and plays, but I was always interested in film and TV. So at the time, summertime, I said, sure, why not, try something new. But yeah, I did this play when I was 10, and after that, I kind of put acting on the back burner because it was just a lot of work, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to be a kid. I love sports. I wanted to play sports.
What else did you play growing up besides football?
I
What
played
was the other
baseball
sport?
as well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to play basketball, but I just didn't know. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not the best hooper. I used to play like at lunchtime or in the neighborhood with my friends basketball. But yeah, football and baseball was my thing. I actually played baseball first because my dad, he didn't want me to play football till I was like 10. Till I was like 10, middle school. And then baseball, I started playing like t-ball when I was a kid. But I played like travel team baseball, little league, pony league, and then I stopped after 9th grade playing baseball and just went just straight football.
Yeah. Who were the other schools that were in the mix for you when you were coming out of high school?
At the time, Pac-10, mostly Pac-10 schools. I had like eight scholarships, but my top 3 were UCLA, Washington, and Arizona State. Those are the ones I took trips to. I took my official visits to go see those schools.
So which one? I mean, UCLA won out, but were any of the other ones in the mix for you, or you really liked and thought maybe I could go there as opposed to UCLA?
Yeah, Washington, man. Washington was really
Yeah.
close. Like I really wanted, I really like UW. I've never been to the Northwest before. So, man, Seattle's a beautiful city, even though it was like winter time and it was kind of, it was cold. It wasn't raining, thank God. But just seeing this, like the stadium right on the lake and the campus was
Oh man.
beautiful. And I never seen a city like Seattle before.
Yeah.
They got good education as well. Love the colors, purple and
Yeah.
gold. It was really close, but yeah, it just was the weather for me. Like
Yeah.
it rains a lot out there, so I was like, man, and it was
You
kind of
done, but
far. It was kind of
yeah.
far from home. That was when like Tyrone Willingham was a coach too up there as well.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
UW is a beautiful campus. I love. I don't know about you, but when you play there, those ships that come in, on the harbor.
but yeah, that was probably the
Yeah.
closest one. Oklahoma came in like last minute recruiting me, but it was literally like
Okay.
the last weekend before signing day. But I didn't want to waste their time. I know I was signing with UCLA, and I knew I know I wanted to go there. But I mean Oklahoma at that time they were going to the BCS bowl game every year. And they had you do good, you do good there, you got a chance to go NFL, but yeah, they came in like late and was trying to recruit me, but I didn't want to waste their time.
Or who'd you end up signing with coming out of school?
Yeah, I got invited to the Raiders. They had a mini camp for rookies. So
Okay.
I didn't get drafted. Was an undrafted free agent.
Okay.
Didn't sign like the futures contract. I just got opportunity to go up there to kind of earn a spot
Hmm.
on the roster. So yeah, I got invited to their camp. I think Seattle Seahawks and maybe one more team, but I just thought the Raiders because at the time they was Oakland out, they was terrible. So I was like, I just thought I had an opportunity
Yeah.
to make the team because I'm like every position should be up for competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went up to
Yeah.
Oakland. It was 3 days, competed, did the best I could do, and yeah, unfortunately got cut. Came back home and yeah, it was in the real world after that.
But you know what's interesting? I read where you were saying that after that happened, that gave you a chance because you really weren't sure. You really wanted to play football. But then
Yeah,
that kind of led you to ballers.
yeah, man. It was interesting, man. It was different from anything I've ever done. When I
Hmm.
got done, I was really trying to get like a job, but it was just tough at the time because I didn't have anything on my resume besides being a student athlete, which is a good thing if you know how to sell yourself and spin it. But yeah, didn't have any work experience, didn't have a resume, so it was kind of tough getting a job without any experience because that's the first thing they asked for. So eventually, fortunately, I was in LA, went to school here, just went back to my camp, went back to my college, talked to my coaches, just kind of just at that point I had nothing to lose. I didn't have any leads. So I just went up there, just
Who was
asked.
the most influential? Was it the D line coach?
Yeah,
Was
my D
Angus?
line. Yeah, Angus McClure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Angus McClure. Yeah, yeah.
my
So
D
tell
line
me,
coach.
I love Angus. Angus is a good man. He's coached
Yes,
a lot of places. But what was
yes.
it that he told you that said like, "Hey, you got to go do it"? I love to hear that story.
I think he just knew my personality. It just knew me
Yeah,
because your position coach. That's who you're with. I would say majority of the time of
yeah,
your career. I feel like your position coach and your strength coach. And luckily for me, like Angus was my position coach. My senior year, he finally got a chance to be a position coach my last year. So, but he's known me since I was a freshman. So he kind of knew my personality because I was really thinking about getting into coaching. But
okay, okay.
but he kind of knew my personality. He knew like the work and like everything it takes to be a coach. So he was just like, I don't know. And then yeah, he knew about and then I mean I didn't even say I wanted to be an actor. I just was like, any opportunities you have, just let me know. So they initially put me on a commercial agent. So I started doing
Mm,
commercials at first. And it was more like background. It was just looking for ex-football players to kind of fill in for these football commercials when they would run plays and do that type of stuff. So I started doing that. That's how I got my feet wet. I was doing background, and I said, okay, this is cool. It's fun, but that type of stuff was only seasonal. So I was like, it
yeah,
wasn't like
yeah.
something that's like year round. And then yeah, man, just through the grace of God, that Baller sent an email to UCLA just also looking for former players. So
Okay.
thankfully like Angus and some of the other coaches that worked in like player development, player operations, they sent it to me and probably like 10 of my former teammates because you at that time you couldn't do that with eligibility because
Yeah.
NCAA and
Yeah.
all the rules. So yeah, I literally just got an email one day about the show and yeah, followed up, thankfully read my email, followed up with it. I thought it was gonna be the commercial thing, like they just needed football players in
Hmm.
the background. But the cast director, she sent me the sides and I'm like, oh snap! Like this is acting. Because I mean,
Yeah.
in the commercials, it was more like improv. You might say
Hmm.
like one line. So initially, my first thought was like, man, I'm not an actor. Like I don't think I don't. There's no chance for me. But I talked to my dad, and my dad was just like, what the hell else are you
Yeah.
doing right now? And he's all like, he said it with some French on it, but and then he's like, man,
Well,
he's like,
go ahead.
he's like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Them
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
saying no. So he like, just go for it, like, F it.
Uh,
So I was like, man, I was like, all right, pop, like, shoot, you right. I mean, I had nothing to lose, so I went on the first audition. Didn't think I did my best. I just did what I could because I didn't have any acting, didn't have any training
yeah.
or
Didn't
any
have any training.
coaching.
That's what. Yeah. That's what
Yeah,
I was going.
any
So,
coaching, and they don't give you a lot of time to prepare for
oh,
this stuff. You got like,
so do they bring you in and they just have you start reading the lines, or how did it? I mean, how
I
did
mean,
it go about?
I believe I got maybe like 2 days before,
Okay.
like maybe a day, probably 2 days the most. So
Okay.
I just did my best. I treated it like my playbook because in
Hmm.
football you got a playbook, got to memorize a lot of plays. I was a history major too, so memorize. I just use my memorization skills
Yeah.
that I built, and yeah, I memorized my lines. I didn't memorize. I didn't because at that time I didn't know how to break down the script and
Uh-huh.
figure out all the stuff I knew now from now that I've been going to acting class. I didn't know all that stuff, so I really just knew my lines, and that was it. And I was like, I'm just gonna wait. But it really like taught me like to listen, which I didn't know because I'm literally like waiting for them to stop talking. Then I'm like, oh, okay, it's my turn. It's my turn now. So yeah, that was the first audition. I'd auditioned 10 times for 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Now,
yeah.
the other thing about it is, I guess you were always having impersonations and making fun of your coaches in high school, and just you had what was some of your impersonations that made Angus or your high school coach or other coaches think, yeah, man,
Um,
you got the chops.
you know what? I wasn't really a big impersonation type of guy. I
Yeah.
just was
Are you just
myself. I was just myself,
okay?
man. I would just
More
always
personality, more
yeah,
personality.
I was personality. I was always like funny, cracking jokes.
Uh,
I'm more like roasting and clowning you. Like that's my
uh,
thing. Like I'm like if you came in and you got like your haircut messed up or you got a crazy outfit, I'm gonna be on your head. But
oh man,
that was more me. But it was funny. A lot of my teammates they was like, bro, you're funny. Like you need to be
yeah.
on TV one day. And I'm like, man, whatever, man. Like it sounds good, like but people always like said my personality and even in the show even during the process I was just natural. I was just me, and they saw something in me that I didn't see myself at first.
So when you first got to work with The Rock or John David Williams as Vernon Littlefield,
Yeah,
what was that like? I mean,
man, it was surreal, man. I just couldn't believe it. I'd like literally pinch myself sometimes because I'm like, man, this is crazy because like maybe like 6 months ago I was at home, didn't know what I was gonna do. This wasn't even in this wasn't even in my my goals or nothing that like I manifested. I just was really just grinding, just going through life. Like if you would have told me like that I was doing this when I was in college, I'd have been like, man, you sound crazy. Like, what are you talking about? So it was
you'd
just
have
really
roasted yourself.
exactly like, man, you on drugs. Like you gotta be smoking something, man. But yeah, it was just really surreal, man. It was just crazy. But I mean, after a certain while, I had to snap out of it. I said, okay, man, you here, you
Mhm.
know, this is life right now. So do your part. And my big thing was just just keep up. It was just like if I'm a freshman in football or I'm a rookie. I don't want
Hmm.
to be seen as the weakest link because I don't. I'm
Gotcha.
the one that maybe got the least experience. But my big thing was just compete, just keep up with everybody.
What was the coolest part with The Rock?
It was somebody I watched when I was a kid. It was like
Hmm.
I love wrestling when I was a kid. So
Yeah,
meeting
yeah,
one of
yeah,
like, meeting one of your childhood heroes. And in fact, for them to actually be like such a kind and humble and genuine guy was amazing. Cause sometimes, you meet, I don't know, go outside looking into business, you always hear things about actors and how they are and they're not they this and they that, but it was a
yeah,
complete opposite. Like everybody I worked with was man down to earth, like you just see why they're so successful because they're good people. And
yeah.
man, working with Dwayne, man, it was cool because we kind of came from the same background. He didn't go to the Juilliard, he didn't go to Yale drama school.
Hmm.
He was he went from football to wrestling, and he just used his personal experience and built this career. He's one of the the top rated
So, so,
entertainer
so, so,
right
who did you
now.
crack on? Did you crack on harder, him or John David? Which one did you crack
Oh,
on? Because I know you
oh
cracked. I
man.
know you cracked,
Yeah,
man. Come on
yeah.
now. You got
A
to tell us
little,
a cracking on them story. Come on.
yeah, man, a little a little bit of both, man. It's tough. Probably more John David because I feel like me and JD, like and the rest of the cast, we would like once we broke in between takes, we would be together like hanging out. And Dwayne would kind of be he's so busy, so
Yeah.
he'd be somewhere over
Hmm.
here doing his a million things he would do. So me and JD would crack a little bit more because he's closer to my age, and
Yeah.
he understand. I feel like he was a little bit more in touch with the culture more than
Uh,
more than Dwayne. Yeah.
so who cracked the best? Did JD get to you, or you got him more? What I
Man,
know y'all kept score. I know y'all kept score.
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. My boy Lyndon that played Reggie, that played my best
Oh yeah,
friend. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, because he a comedian, so
Oh
he's funny too, man. So we all had our day, where
yeah.
it was time. But honestly, I would be with London because sometimes like JD, like if you don't, we didn't have a lot of scenes together. So me and
Oh yeah.
London and Dwayne, we like in the beginning, we had a lot of scenes more together. So, if you're not scenes with somebody, sometimes you don't even see them for a minute. So
I think people don't realize how much time it actually takes to do a scene and get it right.
oh yeah, absolutely, man. I didn't know myself. I mean, going prior to this, honestly thought acting everything was live. I thought it was like Saturday Night Live. I didn't know there was so many takes and just the preparation from getting there to act when you arrive on base camp to actually finally getting to set where you're shooting. Like it's gonna take about
Mm.
4 hours from when you land and get there. But yeah, man, we'd have like 14-hour days sometimes, and yeah, just doing the scene over and over and over and over, different angles. You got your close up, they got their close up, they got the wide angle, and with our show, we had different directors. We didn't like some of the episodes we had the same director, but the whole season, like we do 10 episodes, we sometimes would have
Mm.
4 or 5 directors. Like we'd have one director maybe do
Wow.
like 4 episodes, and then we'd have like 3 directors maybe just do one episode and then another. So it's cool to kind of see how people prepare different ways. But yeah, it reminds me of football. Like it's everybody has a
Hmm.
role, and there's so many different moving parts. You got you and everybody part is from the actors to the behind the scenes. Everybody's important, but we all coming together as a team. For a common goal to make a great project.
I've seen you doing stuff with UCLA again. Pretty cool. Every day you got, different things. You're asking guys, coaches. What made you want to go back to the school and do that? It looks like it's pretty cool because you're having a good time with the guys.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. I mean, first, I want to come back because UCLA is home, man. Like this is where I went to school, and I feel like anybody wherever you go to school, especially student athlete, like man, go back home, man. Tap in with your university, tap in with the future players, and let them know it's okay to come back. And also we got a new head coach, man. Shout out my guy Deshaun Foster. He's a
Yeah.
former player, and I want to come back support him. And also he wants us to come back. And acting. I feel like I love acting, but with like the pandemic and the strike, it's just been different, man. So
Hmm.
trying to pivot into more the sports world because that's what I love. That's what I've done
Yeah.
most of my life. I play the show was about sport. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to get into to broadcasting, like sideline reporting, interviewing. So I
Hmm.
actually was in Chicago this past summer. I did a broadcasting boot camp with the Big Ten Network. So
Yeah. Yeah.
after doing that, I was like, man, this is cool. Like I liked it, but I was like, damn, I need to like get better. I wasn't such a
Hmm.
natural as I thought I was. So I was just like, man, how can I get reps and practice? Because I feel like it's one of anything you gotta put in the work and do the repetition. So and then thankfully, man, with Deshaun there, UCLA was cool. They was open to me coming
Yeah.
back and doing stuff with the media team. So it's been good practice. I just started a podcast as well with my boy that we doing kind of circling around the program a little bit, having guests on. It's called Westwood Open House. So I'm
Oh,
just trying
okay. Cool.
to, yeah, just trying to find ways to, to work on the craft, man. And and why not do it at my alma mater?
What was it for you about UCLA besides ball and school that left such a good, a lasting impression on
I think just going there, first of all, just realizing, man, how many legends went to UCLA and just all like just the tradition and yeah, the legacy that was there before me, and then that like really what made me fall in love with UCLA was the campus. Going on like when I first got to go on campus before I took my official visit, I was just like, man, I get to go to school here. Like this, it's such a privilege.
Well, now that you're back around the younger guys, what are you trying to tell them as they are there in the moment? Because those 4 years or 5 years or however long
Right.
you're there go fast.
Yeah. I mean, first, I'm like you said, just enjoy this moment. Like enjoy
Hmm.
this time. It goes by fast. And also, I'm telling man, network. Like meet as many people as you can while you can. It's certain events that you go to, and it's tough because I wish like sometimes they give you like a list of like who's here because sometimes you meet all these people and you don't, I mean, sometimes that's good too that you don't know, but maybe it's something that like you might be interested in. You might be meeting the president of a record label or something,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
you might be into music. But I'm just like, man, take full advantage of the time you have here, enjoy it, especially the facility. They got amazing facilities. We didn't have that when I was here. So I'm
Yeah.
like, man, just enjoy the time, man. Enjoy the time, work your butt off, compete. And man, it just enjoy this time. This is a special time with your brothers that, it's not always gonna be like this. And also I'm telling them, man, come back. Like when you get done, man, come back. Like this is home. Like, you should want to come back home, man, and support the the future Bruins. And then also let them know, man, if y'all need anything, like it's a brotherhood. Like what we got a saying, man, once a Bruin, always a Bruin. So
How we close it out usually is we call a 2 minute drill. So we just ask rapid fire questions and you just kind of pop answer real quick. The mountains or the water?
on water.
What is it about the water that gets you in your right mind?
I don't know, man. The water just peaceful, man. Like it's just tranquility, man. Peaceful. You never meet anybody mad by the water.
So being from DC, go West Coast. Which music you like?
Ooh, that's tough, man. But I gotta go West Coast, man, because I'm a
West
I'm a
Coast.
I'm a, I'm a Cali dude. Yeah, because I
Uh,
mean, because it's tough though. Because I would like now, like growing up, I'm showing my age. Like if they would have had YouTube,
oh yeah.
if they would have had Spotify and all these streaming services, because I would hear Go Go and I would try to tell my friends back out here about Go Go, and they like what's that? And it's hard to explain. Like you have to
Hmm.
like play it. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, I'm a Cali dude, man. My dad, growing up playing Ice West Side Connection, Ice
Yeah.
Cube, Dr. Dre. I mean,
Uh,
my first album like really listened to was Chronic 2001 by Dr.
oh.
Dre.
Okay.
So man, yeah. So it's just a
I,
lifestyle out here.
are you? I'm assuming LA 28. You're gonna be there for the Olympics because I
Oh,
saw Snoop having a great time in Paris. I'm assuming you're gonna be at LA for the
absolutely,
Olympics.
absolutely, man. I got to. I wasn't born when it was out here in '84.
Yeah.
So got to experience that. I've always wanted to go to the events and everything around the Olympics. So
Yeah.
I'll for sure will be there.
So favorite food that you can only get in Cali?
I mean, you could get this anywhere, but like, man, Mexican food in Cali is hands down. You know, I mean, you said, you from Texas, the Tex-Mex is, it's
Yeah.
different, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
California tacos, man, best in the world.
I got to agree with this. Some good taco spots out there. And the best ones, the little hole in the wall food trucks now that we used to just go to when we were back in the day. So good.
Exactly. I mean, those, and honestly, some of the ones. I mean, now they got them making them on the streets too. They're
I know, man.
not even a. You gotta go to the right one though, because some of
Yeah.
those is hit or miss. I ain't gonna lie. I don't see them wash their hands, but some of those, man, they better than any restaurant you gonna go to out here.
Now, last one for you. We'll get you out of here. Would you do your own stunts if you were in an action movie?
It depends which stunts, but
What's your limit? What like I ain't doing that.
I mean, I think I think I'll do it one time just to see.
Yeah,
Because also I think you can get more money if you do your stunts though. But
that's true.
but then also I feel like give somebody else opportunity, get some money too as well. So I might let somebody else do it.
We're gonna get you out on that one, man. It's good having you on. We'll have to do it again, man. I'm glad you're doing your podcast. I like what you're doing with the Bruins. When I come out there, we definitely got to chop it up for sure, man. Good having you on, Donovan.
Man, thank you so much, Charles, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Go Bruins, man. Forza.
Before the caddy, so I always had to drive. No hands when I'm driving.